So clear cut guys, it is about the question where hints are given that what are the provisions if you want to declare the dividend out of what? Previous year's profit or free reserve. And it will happen only in the case when company doesn't have adequate profit. So what I'm trying to say, this question can be asked in two ways. Two ways. Question number one is like dividend out of reserve, and second question is dividend in case of company doesn't have profit. So don't get confused, Butcha. Answer to both the situation will be same as it is. Okay. If company is suffering losses. All right. So we have to just understand what are the conditions. Okay. So what law says that in case of insufficient profit or losses in current year, company may pay dividend out of free reserves if following conditions are satisfied. If following conditions are satisfied. If following conditions are satisfied. Now what are those conditions? Let's go one by one. Okay. First condition what law imposes here is, जो आपकी पहली कंडीशन है वो है rate of dividend shall not exceed, rate of dividend shall not exceed average of rate of dividend of the last 3 financial years. So look at the data and tell me whether is there any information or the hint is given where it provides the last 3 years rate of dividend. Yeah. So come on guys, don't take this as the normal hint. It is actually a very important hint. So what we have to do is like we have to make the sum of these, and after this we have to make divide by 3. So on an average it is coming to how much? 12%. 12%. So if I speak about the equity shares, how much is given here? 100. So 100 into 12%. So maximum what you can give it is the 12 crores according to the first condition. Still we have to go to the second, third and fourth condition. And after applying those conditions, whichever is least is coming, that would be your dividend amount. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आई आप लोगों को? In fact, let's try to see this. What is written over here? Okay. Wait. All right. Rule 3. All right. Now, whatever I'm discussing, that is not given in the act. It is given in the rules. So, rule number 1 says that if you want to declare the dividend out of what? Reserve. The first condition is rate of dividend shall not exceed the average of the last 3 years average dividend. Second condition, yeah, ये proviso काफी important है. This proviso is very important. It says that this sub rule shall not apply to a company which has not declared any dividend in each of the 3 preceding financial year. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Assume if it is going like this, 0, 15 and 9. So guys, what shall we answer? 9 plus 15 plus 0 divided by 3. Are hi Anna? If it is like this, then 9 plus 0 plus 0. Then, but what if it is 0, 0, 0, 0? Then what? Now this proviso is indicating this situation. Do you get the point? That in each of the 3 financial years, no dividend was declared. Then what? But still you had reserve in your hand. तो क्या करोगे आप लोग? Which has not declared any dividend in each of the 3 financial years. So each year you had 0. Then guys, this word is very important. It is written that this sub rule shall not apply. What does it mean? It simply means that don't consider this condition in calculation. Start your calculation from the second condition. Are you getting my point? So this condition will be excluded. Are you getting my point? This condition will be excluded. Okay, I can put like this. This will be excluded only if, yeah, only if in these 3 financial years there was 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Huh, it is on. Thank you for reminding that. Okay, have you understood what I'm saying? Let's move on. Okay, first condition समझ में आ गई? If 1 year you don't, then it is applied. Then you have to take the average of 3 years, but by considering the two rates. वही तो मैंने बताया ना, 0 plus rate divided by 3. Like this, you have to go. If it is not declared for the all the 3 years, then this condition don't apply. Because if you apply, it is automatically coming to 0. It is unfair, na? You have profits, accumulated profit. Just this year you don't have adequate profit. You want to make your people happy, but आप क्या कह रहे हो? Just because since last 3 years we didn't have any declaration of the dividend, then this year I will not give it. I cannot give it because it automatically comes to 0. It is unfair. It is unfair. तो ये quash हो जाएगा. क्या हो जाएगा? Quash. It will not apply at all. Okay. Second, it is written the total amount to be drawn. Okay, drawn stands for withdrawn. This withdrawal you are doing from which? What? Can I say free reserve? So the second sub rule is trying to say that maximum amount of the free reserve what you can withdraw shall not be 1/10 of the paid up share capital plus free reserve. So you tell me guys, what is the maximum amount according to the calculation you can give? Tell me one thing, bacha. It is saying that paid up capital, this two is nothing but paid up capital. Come on, bacha. These two together is nothing but what? I would say paid up capital, right? So that is coming to 200 plus free reserve coming to what? 275. Are bolo bhai. So guys, second condition is saying that 10% of paid up share capital plus free reserve. So it is coming to what according to this calculation 200 plus 75. It is coming to what? Are bolo bhai. It is coming to 27.5 crores. This is the option number B. So according to my first condition, it is coming to 12 crores, right? 12 ही आ रहा था ना? According to this, it is coming to 12 crores. According to my second option, it is coming to 27.5. I told you whichever is least will be taken, but we have to go to the other rules also. Okay. Now, what the sub rule number 3 is trying to say? Sub rule is very interesting. They said whatever amount you are drawing, it will be utilized to set off the losses and depreciation first. So assume guys, we have to derive the available reserve. Okay? Assume available reserve is 27.5. This is what is the reserve amount. But out of this 27.5, we have to deduct what? First losses. That is 3 minus this 1. Why I have calculated 1 also? Because 1 is also part of losses. It is also part of losses. It is just unabsorbed. I kept it separate because I didn't have the sufficient profit. And I did not want to make my balance sheet more worst. Because if you are debiting depreciation, which is a non-cash transaction, ultimately it will show what? Huge amount of losses. So sometimes the board decides that we do not want to show this much. So वो क्या करेंगे? They will just keep on accumulating that. Okay. So now total amount is available is 23.5. I hope you are understanding this. अरे बोलो भाई. But if you are going to the first option, because comparatively 27.5 versus 12, whichever is less will be allowed to be used. Are yes or no? These 12 crores will be used from the reserve. This 27.5 will be used from the reserve, but whichever is less will be considered. So here it is 12. Are higher na? So if it is a 12 crore reserve, I am withdrawing. These 12 crores will be utilized first to set off what? Current year losses and depreciation. So available reserve is what? 3 minus 1. Oh, sorry. It is just a 12. Yeah, 8 crores. But are you getting the entire calculation? हाँ है ना भाई समझ में आ रही है बात so 8 crore is so far is what my answer is because 12 crore I can withdraw according to my first but 12 crore will be utilized first what to set off losses and depreciation. Third one is talking about the debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio. Let's come to this. Just a second, sir. Okay. Now, sorry, debt equity ratio is not there. Debt equity ratio is not there. Next one is about the leftover, sorry, leftover reserve balance. Now, what do you mean by here leftover reserve balance? Leftover reserve balance. Tell me what is the reserve amount available in the balance sheet? It is the 75 crores. High enough? So comparatively, you tell me, beta, if you just go with the 12 and 27.5, which one would be allowed? 12 is allowed. So guys, right now I use 75. 9, 12. विड्रॉल की बात है 12 में से 8 डिविडेंड में जाएगा 3 एब्जॉर्प्शन में जाएगा तो टोटल यूटिलाइजेशन तो कितना होगा भाई 12 हुआ ना so 12 right as of now the balance is 75 but what I can utilize is the 12 so guys try to understand if I use 12 75 minus 12 coming to what अरे बोलो भाई 63 what law talking about that after withdrawal whatever balance is left over it shall not fall below 15% of the paid up share capital. Okay, what is the paid up share capital 100 plus 100 2 अरे है ना चलो उस बात करते हैं paid up share capital is equal to 200 crores apply 15% of so guys your leftover balance should not go less than 30 but are you getting my point so according to third condition what is the maximum balance available available 75 leftover should be 30 so how much you can utilize so 75 minus 30 45 you can utilize are hi na so you have three options according to the first calculation it is coming to 12 according to second condition it is coming to 27.5 and according to third condition it is coming to 45 whichever is less that you have to utilize first that is 12 and out of this 12 my dear student first of all आपको क्या adjust करना है that exactly 12 ही था ना so 12 minus 3 is coming to 9 हाँ so 3 plus 1 था ना okay I'm sorry yes 3 plus 1 था so it is 3 plus 1 sorry 3 minus 1 yeah it is coming to 8 so this is 8 crore rupees is maximum available to go for dividend you can't go beyond that whether you want to satisfy your preference shareholders or you want to satisfy your equity shareholders doesn't matter this is what maximum you can pay out of what so guys if you want to just go for the equity share dividend and if you want to utilize the entire money as dividend so how will you figure out the percentage so 8 divided by 100 coming to what maximum percentage what you can give is just the 8% even if in the last year even if in the last year it was 9% earlier 15 12 but this year out of reserve you can't exceed more than 8% so utilization wise you have utilized 12% but dividend declaration wise you have gone for only 8% is the explanation clear to everyone is the explanation clear to everyone okay what happened is according to the first condition the last one okay is this calculation let me tell you Chha. Leftover reserve balance is what it should be 15% of paid up capital. So paid up capital is equity capital plus a preference, that is coming to 200. Apply 15% of that. 30 crores should be left over. Okay, let me tell you when this third would be significant. Assume that question says that available reserve is just 32 crores. Assume that instead of 75, available reserve is how much? 32. Now apply 15% of the paid up capital, that is coming to 30 crores. So loss is 30 should be left over. 32 is in hand and 30 should be there. So how much maximum you can go for dividend? 2 crores. And that too is still not sufficient. Why? Because we have losses and depreciation. So this year your rate of dividend will be 0. So all these three conditions need to get satisfied if you want to proceed further. Am I clear to everyone what is written here? समझ में आई मेरी बात है? If this is the case, no dividend. Even if you have reserve. So I can say reserve is there but not sufficient to cover up the dividend. So keep quiet. You can't go. Security premium is just for the decoration. In fact, the debt is also, I would say, the decoration. That is just to make you confused. It is not there. It is not there. तीन condition है. Average rate you take first. Maximum withdrawal is the 10% of the paid up share capital plus free reserve. And leftover balance should be 15% of the paid up capital. That should be left over after withdrawal. So you see where you are getting the least amount, that will be your dividend. And that will happen if you are paying out of reserves when you are incurring losses or inadequate profit. Is the answer clear in everyone's mind? पारस समझ में आई बात? ठीक है. So that is about explanation to, I would say, 123 subsection 1. उसको लेना ही नहीं, वो कुछ सिर्फ एक डेकोरेशन है. अगर बैलेंस शीट में हो या ना हो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. अगर आप उसको जीरो भी ले लो, अगर आप उसको जीरो मान लो, मान लीजिए यहाँ पे आप उसको जीरो कर लेते तो कैलकुलेशन एज इट इज रहेगी, क्योंकि भाई वो कहीं पे कैलकुलेशन में है ही नहीं. तो आप इसको जीरो मान लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, ना वो कैलकुलेशन में ना वो यूटिलाइजेशन में है, तो एज इट इज रहेगा. एम आई क्लियर? ठीक है. सो डिविडेंड इज ऑल अबाउट द गेम ऑफ दिस थ्री ओनली. इतना ध्यान रखिए. डोंट वरी, दिस इज व्हाट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वेश्चंस एवर बीन आस्क्ड. लेट मी टेल यू बच्चा, टिल टुडे ICI has not asked this question. This is the highest level, highest degree, highest toughest level of the question if they want to ask along with the data. लेकिन उन्होंने डेटा के साथ नहीं पूछा. Do you know what kind of question they have asked? If you just check it up your study material. All right, let me tell you बच्चा what they have asked max to max. ये हमने already कर लिया है, 10% of paid up share capital and all that stuff, right? Look, this kind of questions they are asking. Capricorn Industries Limited has a paid up capital of 200 lakhs, that is the 2 crores, and accumulated reserve is to 240. So उन दोनों का टोटल कितना होगा? 4.4 crores. Apply what? I would say 10%. So maximum available according to the second condition is what? 44 lakhs. That's the first condition. And the loss for the ending year is 30 lakhs. So guys, 44 lakhs minus 30 lakhs first. So available कितना रहेगा? 12 lakhs नहीं, कितना आएगा? 14, 1 4. But are you understanding the calculations? No. Okay, fine. Let me go one by one. Rate of dividend is given, paid up capital is given, free reserve is given, and what is the maximum rate at which they can go? But a rate पूछा है. Rate पूछा है. Okay, let's go with this. 9 plus 10 plus 12 divided by 3. What is the average is coming here? 10%. So now 10% is the maximum. What is your equity capital here? अरे बोलो भाई. 200 lakhs, that is the 2 crores. 10% of the 2 crores, it is coming to what? 20 lakhs. So according to my first formula, it is coming to 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs at the rate of 10%. Hai na? So first option is 10. We have to compare the option number 1, 2 and 3. Whichever is least, that will become my rate of dividend. Got it? Yes. So 10% is my first, 20 lakhs is the amount. According to second condition, 1/10 of the paid up share capital plus free reserve. So 200 plus 240. Coming to how much? 440 lakhs. Divide, multiply by 10% comes to 44 lakhs. So according to my second option, it is coming to 44 lakhs, but I want to warn you, this 44 will be used to set off the current year losses first. What is the current year losses given in the exam? 30. So 44 minus 30. So only 14 lakhs is available. So 14 divided by 200. Tell me the rate. So that is coming to 7%. So according to first option, 10%. According to second, 7. Let's go to third one now. What should be the leftover balance? 15% of the paid up capital, right? Paid up is 200. Apply what? Apply what? 15%. That is coming to what? 30. So guys, okay, fine. I think the third condition doesn't apply. The reason is we have 240, and out of the 240, 30 lakhs should be left over. So 210 is available. That is too much. But according to the calculation, we can go max to max 14 lakhs. But are you getting my point? Why? Because 44 is coming. 44 minus 31st is coming to 14. So maximum rate of dividend will be what? 7%. ठीक है? Let's see whether they are getting this 7% or not. Exactly. Look at it. हो गया बात खत्म. But let me tell you बच्चे, this is the newly developed question. Earlier ये question नहीं था. Earlier ये वाला question था. ये जो आप शिप्रा सुगर देख रहे हो, that was the question they asked I think more than 3 times in CE in the exam. ठीक है? So guys, whatever chapter I'm finishing, आपका पहला homework ये होगा, आप एक एक illustration को कर लोगे घर पे जाके. Let me solve it. Are you ready? So Shipra Sugar Mills Limited has been regularly declaring dividend at the rate of 20% on its equity shares past 3 years. So according to this, guys, past 3 years average कितना आ गया? 20%. However, the company has not made adequate profit. But as soon as this line comes, company has not made adequate profit and dividend. That it is quite obvious that company now will declare out of reserve. But it has got adequate free reserve. Did you know the trick? I would say it is easiest question. The reason is the data about free reserve, data about paid up capital is not provided. So I think it's a little bit easy for you to solve. Are higher? Na? So you tell me, according to this data, what is the maximum rate of dividend you can go? If data is missing and they are also saying that we have adequate profit, no losses are given. They have written that they have profit but not sufficient, not adequate. अरे बोलो भाई, तो लॉस का कोई सवाल ही नहीं आएगा. So max to max what you can go is the 20%. That's all. Now what is written further? That advise the company as to how it should be proceed further in the matter if they want to declare dividend at the rate of 20% as per the provisions. Yes, it is allowed. Question could be more different if they are saying instead of 20%, company desires to go for 25%. Then what's supposed to be answer? It is not allowed. It is not allowed. It is not allowed. This is how the question should be answered. Okay, Bacha. I have, I think, taken a lot of time in this explanation. Fine. Let's move on to interim dividend now. Interim dividend, and that is provided under subsection 2 here. Subsection 3. Subsection 2 is about just that depreciation will be absorbed first and then you can continue. Now let's go to subsection 3. But a subsection 3, let me make a question like this about interim dividend. Write down the question here. Company has booked profit in each quarter as given below. So guys, let's say it is the quarter number 1. Company's profit was somewhere around 20 lakhs. Yeah, it is lakhs, I want to tell you. Quarter number two, the company has the profit of minus 5 crores. So instead of that, let me put it like a 0.20. So that would be the great comparison. Okay. Quarter three, company had the loss of minus 10. And quarter four, we don't know because in the quarter four, company wants to give what? Interim dividend. Interim dividend. So they have profit, but they are not sure. Got the point? Interim dividend. Rate for the last 3 years are as follow. So year one, year two, and year three. Same way, I would like to take it 12, 15, and 9. All right, in the last 3 years. Equity share capital of the company is just the 100 crores. Free reserve is zero. Free reserve is what? Zero. Tell me guys, can company go for डिविडेंड और नॉट नहीं जीरो नहीं करते काम करते बट हम उसको रखते कुछ अमाउंट 10 या 20 जैसा रखते हैं ठीक है लेट्स गो फॉर 10 व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम अमाउंट यू कैन गो फॉर मैक्सिमम रेट ऑफ डिविडेंड सो लेट मी टेल यू बच्चा current year profit we can say that it is nothing almost about zero are yes or no because only point 2 and we cannot predict about the quarter 4 we cannot predict about the quarter 4 हमको नहीं मालूम है so if you want to go for the interim dividend now first question comes what is interim dividend ये ध्यान रखना interim dividend means the dividend declared between two AGMs two AGMs so final dividend is the different concept actually it is getting declared somewhere at where in the annual general meeting interim dividend means something what you are declaring in between what two AGMs somewhere in the middle not exactly at the middle of the year, but yes, fine. Somewhere in between two AGMs. So sources is your current year's profit. Sources is what? But when company has a doubt that current year profit is not sufficient and they want to go for the interim dividend, not for the final. Only one condition they have provided that you have to take care. Maximum rate of dividend what you can declare is not more than average of the last 3 years. According to the data what is given over here, it is just the 12%. Kitna hai? 12%. So if it is the question of not a final dividend but the interim dividend, other conditions what we studied in the rules like 10% withdrawal of the free reserve, that doesn't apply. Interim dividend you can provide just in this average. Others conditions do not apply. Do you understand what I am saying? So according to, I would say your paid up capital is 100. So max to max you can go to how much? 12 crores. But let me tell you, Bacha, I actually don't appreciate this provision. There are some confusions. Before I go to the confusions, let's read the provision. क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे? The board of directors of a company may declare interim dividend during the financial year or at any time during the period from closure of the financial year till the holding of AGM. So between AGM, if you are declaring, I would say the dividend, that's known as what? Interim, not a final dividend. Till this everyone clear? Good. Out of the surplus in the profit and loss account or out of the profits of the financial year for which such interim dividend is sought to be declared or out of profits generated in the financial year till the quarter. So guys, already declared profits, that means the previous year profit you can go for no issue. Or the profit what you have earned till the quarter. Let's say guys, God knows what if instead of this guys the answer going like this 2 crore, 5 crores and 10 crores. Fourth quarter I'm not sure what will be the profit. So whatever profit I have earned in these 3 quarters, I can pay I would say dividend out of it. And this condition doesn't apply. But the situation becomes more worsened when there is this trick. Look at the proviso. In case the company has incurred the loss during the current financial year up to the end of the quarter. So now let me go to my old data. According to old data, guys, when you just make the sum of all these three, what is the net balance is coming? Losses. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? It is minus 14.8, but still company has 10 what? Okay, instead of 10, let me go for 20. Why? There is a reason. Or 25. The reason is if you want to pay, first of all, loss will be adjusted. तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं बचने वाला. So if I want to make it a little bit more challenging, let me keep it at 25 so that after adjusting the losses, at least we have something in our hand. So company wants to go for interim dividend out of reserve. I am shocked when they have drafted the provision. देखो provision में क्या लिखा है? Again, I am reading this. In case of a company which has incurred the loss during the current financial year up to the end of the quarter, immediately preceding the date of the declaration of interim dividend, such interim dividend shall not be declared at a rate higher than the average dividend declared by the company during the immediately preceding 3 financial years. So that's what only this part is considered. Did you see that? That means in interim dividend, they have neither considered the share capital nor free reserve, nothing like, just like in my previous example. Yes or no? अब देखो बेटा, if I read subsection 3, it is for what? Interim dividend. But interim dividend, and if you want to declare the dividend out of reserves, then first condition what is impliedly applicable is these rules don't apply. Exactly, this rule don't apply because these rules are only for what? Final dividend. Do you understand what I'm saying? For the interim dividend, we have subsection 3, separate provision. तो ये apply नहीं होगा. And over there, they have given only one condition that you have to just consider the average of the last 3 years dividend rate. Don't consider anything else, which is coming to 12%. 12% multiplied by, it is coming to 12 crores. You can withdraw this 12 crores from this 25 crores. Losses definitely you have to adjust first. It means अब देखो यही confusion है. 12 crore हम जा सकते हैं, but how much we can withdraw? But about withdrawal in case of interim dividend, law is silent. आप समझ रहे हो? So can I use the whole 25 crores? Out of 25 crores, first of all, I will adjust the 14 crores, 14.5. So what is the leftover balance? 10.2. Can I go for 10.2? Obviously, yes. Maximum I can go for 10.2. But what if instead of 25 it is 30? Then I can go for the whole. That means आप समझो बच्चा इस एक पूरी कहानी का जो one of the disappointed point what as being the faculty I don't appreciate is if you are issuing the final dividend out of reserve you have a lot of restrictions. But if you are issuing the interim dividend, why you don't apply the same restrictions here? Don't you think that subsection 3 is made more liberally than the subsection 1? So if I do not want to comply subsection 1 and I want to make my shareholders happy, not by declaring final dividend, but by declaring what? Interim dividend. Law is giving me more privilege. So ultimate logic for which these restrictions had been made in the rules are not getting complied in the subsection 3. That is what my disappointment towards the lawmakers. In fact, interim dividend, देखो यहाँ पे एक और problem क्या है? You don't have prediction that whether at the end of the financial year will you get the profit or not. आपको पता भी नहीं है. What if the losses are more than what is already incurred? And sometimes it's possible that you have declared such a dividend which has already exhausted your entire free reserve. Still, देखो assume करो like this. Situation is 25 crore is what my अरे बोलो भाई free reserve. 100 crore is what? My equity share. Average is coming 25 crores. So according to subsection 3, I can utilize maximum 25 crores. अरे बोलो मेरे भाई. What if my dear students in the fourth year, company has minus 30 crores loss in the fourth quarter, sorry. So ultimately, the interim dividend what company paid, can I consider this as out of capital? अरे बोलो भाई, you didn't have, ना आपके पास रिजर्व बची थी, ना आपके पास करंट ईयर का प्रॉफिट था, लेकिन फिर भी आपने कैश पे कर दी. Because according to subsection 3, you have to just maintain that average percentage, and once the average comes, you can utilize that much amount unconditionally. तो ये लॉजिक कहाँ से बनता है, मुझे एक बात बताओ. ये लॉजिक नहीं है. And that is why my recommendation to the government is they should make interim dividend provisions just like the subsection 1. Are yes or no? Same condition should be applicable here also. Otherwise, this provision can be misused by the company. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes or no? Just one advice they have given that while issuing the interim dividend, board of directors should take care. They should ensure that at the end of the quarter end, there should have sufficient profit. Ensuring, that means it's just an assumption or the prediction. Nobody can guarantee on that. Are hai na? So 123 subsection 3, I'm not satisfied. But don't worry guys, let's discuss about examination point of view. Exam में वो लोग कैसे question पूछते हैं? I'm damn sure that ICI must have included interim dividend question into their illustrations. Let's see whether they have included or not. Okay, illustration is there. The authorized and paid up capital of Avantika Ayurvedic is 50 lakhs. 5 lakh shares into 10. In its an AGM, the company declared the dividend rupees 2 per share. So tell me what's the total कितना amount आएगा? 5 lakhs into 2 coming to क्या 1 lakh? 10 lakhs. By passing ordinary resolution, the amount of the dividend must be deposited. अरे ये नहीं है. Interim dividend कहाँ? Look, they are so smart. They know this point is very. This is what the question they are asking in the exam. It is the MCQ. The board of directors of the Vidyut Limited are contemplating to declare interim dividend in the last week of July 22. But the last week of July 22, that is just after the first quarter end. Okay. But the company has incurred the loss during the June 22. Means in the first quarter end they had what? Losses. However, it is noted that during the previous year, financial year, 17, 18, 18, 19 until this, company had declared the dividend 8, 9, 12 and 11 and 10 respectively. So guys, we have to consider the last three. So 12 plus 11 plus 10 coming to what? 11%. We have to take the average of the last 3 years. Advise the board how much maximum interim dividend they can propose. So what should be the answer? They are not asking any irrelevant data, what is the amount of reserve, because they know that in the question, if they are asking like the subsection 1, the question will create the huge ambiguity and the confusion. Are yes or no? तो एग्जाम में बस यही एकमात्र क्वेश्चन है जो बार बार वो लोग पूछते हैं. Am I clear to everyone what am I trying to say? ठीक है. Now guys, section 125 remaining provisions along with the section 124 I want to solve together. So now the next explanation what I am giving here, it is just not the explanation for 123, but it also includes what 124 also. So till this guys, I hope the sources are clear. Paying out of reserve is also clear. Everyone clear हुआ या नहीं हुआ? ठीक है. Now what is the hierarchy and how the things are happening? Let me tell you. So process to go for declaration of dividend. So first of all, what happens? Board proposes the dividend. At this stage, all of you know, guys, it is known as what? Proposed dividend. It is known as what? Proposed dividend. Now, same dividend shall be approved by shareholders in what? General meeting. Okay, by way of passing what? So, shareholders will approve by passing what? Ordinary resolution. And guys, once it is passed by passing ordinary resolution, it will become what? I want to ask you, Acha. It will become what? Can I say it will become declared dividend? and at this stage it becomes the liability of company. So till this I guess everyone knows, but my real discussion starts what happens after this. अब हमारा मेन क्वेश्चन तो ये है, what happens after this? So as soon as dividend is declared in the general meeting, company has 5 days. How many days they have? Company has just 5 days. This is very important data. Company has maximum 5 days. Maximum 5 days. And within 5 days, they need to deposit declared dividend amount into separate bank account. Separate bank account. All right, which is known as dividend payment account. Dividend payment account, which is maintained under the scheduled bank, not any other ordinary bank. Maintained under where? Scheduled bank. Now, what does it mean, guys? Once you have declared it, within 5 days, you have to arrange the cash. You may be rich, but you may have the scarcity of cash. Possible or not? You are the owner of 500 crore rupees net worth. But is it possible that in your pocket I can find nothing in the name of cash? Because cash generally gets invested in the lot of things, yes or no? And realizing, liquefying the assets and getting into the cash is very difficult sometimes. So what if you don't have cash? By hook or crook, you have to arrange the cash. कैसे भी करके. Can you take the loan to pay dividend? Answer is yes, you can. If you want to dispose of some of your assets, please do that. But आपको कैसे भी करके cash arrange करनी पड़ेगी. So there is a question. Sometimes they are asking in exam that company has already declared the dividend. Total amount of the liability which is declared is coming to, let's say, 100 crores. But company doesn't have any cash. Company doesn't have. So what company did is, instead of dividend, they issued the debentures. Suppose your total dividend due to the company is coming to 25 lakhs. Instead of paying you cash, company ने क्या दे दिया आपको? 25 lakhs rupees worth debentures दे दिया आपको. So is it valid compliance or not? But let me tell you, dividend must have to be paid in cash or check or by way of issuing dividend warrants or any kind of online bank transfer. But are you getting me what I'm saying? You cannot issue anything else in place of cash. So by anyhow within 5 days you have to manage the cash. कैसे भी करके आपको cash लानी पड़ेगी. You can't give the goods, you can't give debentures, you can't give even the shares in place of dividend. So once the dividend is issued, you have to be very, very, very careful over there. Okay, Vicha, is it clear to everyone? Now, once it is deposited, you have another 30 days. Now, this is very interesting. What do you mean by 30 days here? 30 days of what? You have 30 days to pay the dividend to all the shareholders. To all shareholders. One more thing you please understand, such 30 days shall be counted, shall be considered. Okay, it shall be considered from which date? From the expiry of 5 days or from the declaration of dividend? Okay, right on guys, shall be considered from the declaration of dividend. Not expiry. Not expiry. Are you getting the entire hierarchy? till is 30 days. You have to ensure that it reaches to everyone in the same bank account what the shareholders have provided. But still, it is quite obvious that there are two kinds of possibilities. There is two kinds of possibilities. Possibility number one and possibility number two. Possibility number one is dividend is claimed and paid to shareholders. I would say that is the first possibility here. It is paid and not a shareholders, yeah, it's a shareholders. And second thing is it is not claimed by the shareholders. It remained dividend remained unclaimed. Dividend remained what? Unclaimed. That is the another point. Dividend remained what? Unclaimed. Unclaimed. Unclaimed, you asking? Claimed means you receive the check, you confirm that yes, this is my money, I am not receiving on behalf of anybody else. When you're confirming that yes, this is my money and I deserve to get this, that's called your claim. And when you deposit to your bank account, that much money got deducted from the company's bank account and got transferred to your bank account, that's called the payment. But what if guys I issue the check to you, your address is already changed, so the new neighbor or new person who's residing in that home, they disclaimed the check of dividends saying that sorry, the person referring in this address is not locating here, he has changed his address and now is staying somewhere else. This is called not claimed. It is also possible that you claimed means you have received the dividend but you forgot to deposit in the bank. So claimed but not deposited. Possible or not? So claiming means accepting. Dividend is accepted and as well as paid. So these two concepts are different. In fact, there can be the time gap. Acceptance date may be different and paying date may be different in the law. Yes or no? Now from this section onwards, I'm starting guys section 124. Dividend remain unclaimed. So here the question comes, what if the dividend was unclaimed? Then what to do? Then law says that we are giving you more 7 days. How many days बच्चों? ये काफी interesting fact है. 7 days. And during these 7 days, you have to transfer this unclaimed dividend to the separate bank account. All right. Transfer to unclaimed dividend account. Definitely mentioned in schedule bank. Is it clear to everyone? And wait for the shareholders to come because all those who couldn't claim within 30 days, claim stands for who couldn't accept within 30 days. It's quite possible that they may come in next weeks or next month. Yes or no? Possible or not? Okay, Bacha. Now this story has one more question. How long company will wait for the shareholders? How long? Okay, my simple question to you is, assume that company has declared according to my calculation 100 crore as what? Dividend. Out of 100, 90 is claimed and 10 couldn't be claimed. So my first question what I want to ask is like, can company utilize this 10 crore for the company's purpose? Company needs 10 crore rupees working capital. So one of the directors suggested, अरे भाई, why are you going to the bank unnecessarily interest charges? Better ये जो 10 crore भी बचे हैं, which are unclaimed by the shareholders, utilize this and whenever shareholder demands, we will give it back. So the first question what comes to your exam is, can company utilize this unclaimed dividend portion 10 crores? What should you answer? What should you answer? Beta, answer to this question is no, not at all. देखो मैं आपको सीधी सी बात बताना चाहता हूँ, ये पैसे किसी के बाप के नहीं है, शेयर होल्डर्स के। And company is just like a custodian. Custodian, you understand, just like a caretaker for this money. And that is why there's a provision in section 124. This 10 crore rupees company cannot keep, cannot utilize, but in fact, it needs to create a separate bank account known as what? Unclaimed dividend account, and entire 10 crore rupees will get transferred over there. Now, company waited for 2 years. Nobody came. Nobody came. 2 years, I think it's very long waiting period. 2 साल तक आपने इंतजार किया. Nobody turned up. Now can company use this 10 crores? So now this 10 crores are lying here. It is almost 2 years. Company was waiting. आएगा आएगा मेरा शेयर होल्डर आएगा, बट कोई नहीं आया. Now can company utilize this? Think a lot and then answer. That is what is the question. What's the waiting period? 15 months. Yeah, that's what the ad hoc. 15 months. Okay, then 3 years. Good. I'm shocked यार, आपको कभी ये कहीं पे पढ़ाया नहीं गया? कहीं पे तो आया होगा, फाइनेंस में, कॉस्टिंग में, अकाउंटेंसी में. आई थिंक भावना है सम. नो. 7 years. आर यू श्योर? कहाँ पढ़ा था? 7 years. 7 years. That's the correct answer. Yes, guys. This money will be kept in the unclaimed dividend account for the 7 years. What is the logic behind 7 years? According to Indian Penal Code, if any person is missing and couldn't be found till 7 years, he would be declared as dead. And you can go for that partition procedure, partition among the legal heirs. So missing person would not be declared as dead for how many years? So that's what you have to wait for the 7 years, because till 7 years company will believe that he's alive, and after that it may believe that he's no more. Now another question: 7 years completed. Now 10 crores plus 50 lakhs interest, 10.5. Now company wants to utilize for the company's purpose. Can it do so? Can it do so? Now अब ये सवाल आ रहा है. Now can company do so? अब क्या ये कंपनी कर सकती है? बेटा आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज नो. मैंने पहले बोल देते, ये पैसे कंपनी के नहीं है, या डायरेक्टर के पिताजी के नहीं है, ये शेयर होल्डर के पैसे. एंड डू यू नो व्हाट? द मनी विच कांट बी क्लेम्ड बाय एनीवन, it can be claimed by central government. So it is very shocking and surprising to know that this money will not be enjoyed by the company along with interest. I'm telling you, even interest you cannot utilize. So 10 crores plus accumulated interest of the 50 lakhs rupees. Both this amount will be credited to central government's fund. The name of that fund is the Investors Education and Protection Fund. Have you ever heard about IEPF somewhere in the auditing or somewhere? IEPF under section 125. PF nahi bhai. Investors Education and Protection Fund. So guys, it will be capped over there for how many years? Okay, let me tell you. This money will be capped over there. It will remain there for the 7 years. And after expiry of these 7 years, got the point? After expiry of these 7 years, this money shall be transferred. So I can write like this, that on expiry of 7 years, transfer this money to IEPF. What is the full form of IEPF? Investors Education and Protection Fund, which is nothing but the central government fund, which is maintained under section 125. Now, pardon? Investors Education and Protection Fund. Okay, I think come to this. I have something to show you. This is the MCA website. Can you see this? This man you know very well. And this man is legend. Anyone visited yet this Statue of Unity? Okay, fine. Now you come down to this website. Come down, come down, come down, come down, come down. Yeah, look at this. So look at the website over here. The first is Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. If you click on this website will get open, but it is not of any use. This is SFIO. It is the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. Now, if anybody is making the corporate frauds, this office will take care of that. And this is what? Exactly. This is what we're discussing now. IEPF, Investor Education and Protection Fund. The authority which is maintaining this, then it becomes the authority. But let me tell you, it is set up under which section? If you come down to this, under exactly. So, guys, if you look at this website, it is the governmental website. I agree. But this website is drawing its powers from section 125. It is drawing its powers from which section 125. Do you understand what I am saying? अब इस पूरी वेबसाइट को ध्यान से देखिए. Is it possible that some shareholder died and legal hairs don't know that in the name of that person there were crores of rupees shares? Possible or not possible? Or in fact, what if the person who died doesn't have any legal hair? It is almost 7 years. It is almost to 7 years. And there was no one to claim dividend, no one to claim shares, no one to claim bonus shares, no one to claim right issue. So just now I have explained that after expiry of the 7 years, law believes that the person is like a dad. So let me tell you, Bachcha, if you couldn't find any traces about existence of the shareholder, then after 7 years, not only dividend but shares will also get transferred to Investor Education and Protection Fund. तो बेटा आपके शेयर्स भी चले जाएंगे उधर. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है आप लोगों को? And that is why, guys, I generally tell to all the investors that once in a 3 years, attend the general meeting and try to show your presence to the company that भाई you are there. कम से कम proxy appoint कर लो, proxy form डाल दो. Otherwise, guys, you will sacrifice your dividend. वो तो ठीक है, but you will sacrifice your shares. And what if the market value of the shares is 5 crores? Recently, I was teaching in second BBA. Right now, those second BBA students are in the fourth BBA. So I was teaching the corporate law. और कभी कभार क्या होता है, बच्चे people are sharing me the practical doubt. उन्हें कहा कि सर, my grandpa had the shares of company which was not listed, unlisted company. Now all of a sudden my grandpa came to know that his all the shares are transferred to IEPF because since last 15 years my grandpa didn't communicate to the company. And suddenly we realized that these shares had been transferred just 3 years back to IEPF. Total market valuation is coming to 80 lakhs rupees. Just imagine, guys, you are the owner of 80 lakhs, you don't know. But in the market, is it possible or not? You are owner of 80 lakhs rupees money, but you don't know, and your money got transferred to IEPF. Sir, what is the process to recover the amount? Now, if you go to a company, what will be the answer from company? Sorry, we don't have your shares. We had, but we transferred to IEPF. So another question comes that can you claim your dividend? And can you claim your shares back from IEPF? But the answer to that question is yes. In fact, many students are asking, sir, what is the benefit to become corporate lawyer or corporate law practitioner? In the market, there are so many people who got stuck with this query. बेटा उनका आप क्या कीजिए, just उनका consultation कीजिए and charge 2% fees. Let's say total 1 crore rupees. You charge just 2%. Comes to how much? Just help them to get all the money back from IEPF. Yes, this process is there and it is allowed. Look at that. If you come to services, it is written the forms. And when you click the forms, just to see the heading of the form, क्या लिखा है? First of all, we have IEPF 5, application to the authority for claiming unpaid amount and shares. Out of what? That means earlier that shares were with the company, but as you couldn't show your appearance for the back-to-back 7 years, your money got transferred to IEPF, and now you want to claim it back. So which form you will use, bacha? IEPF 5 you will use. I hope you are understanding. So देखो guys, I charge 2 lakh rupees for the 1 crore rupees shares consultancy. But if you have the knowledge of section 125 and section 124, you don't need me. You can directly go there, download this form, pay some necessary fees and upload to the website, and the website will look at into the matters. Definitely you have to give the proof of your existence. Your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your governmental records. In fact, sometimes your video recording also that you are existing. And under the table you have to make some adjustments. वो तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. And you will get your money back. But am I clear to all of you? Statement of amounts credited to the investors and education protection fund. This is the IEPF form number 1, which will be filed by the corporate forms. What do you mean by corporate forms? These are the company form. That means, okay, do you really think it is only dividend which will go to IEPF? No. Any kind of unclaimed amount. For example, you have redeemed the preference shares or debenture. Again, there is two categories possible. Some people claim, some people didn't claim. So, guys, the people who didn't claim in the number of years passed is the 7 years. After passing 7 years, all those preference shares, all those debenture, along with the interest, will go to IAPF. So, any amount what is payable to the creditors, which is sorry, not the creditors, which is payable to the shareholders, and you couldn't pay, and waiting period of 7 years is completed. Just imagine you have to redeem 100 crores, 80 you redeemed, 20 people couldn't claim. 20 people couldn't claim. So that 20 after the 7 years, company cannot enjoy. Company has to transfer this 20 crores to IEPF. No, no, no. It is from this Companies Act 2013. It was there also. In Companies Act 1956, the section number was 205. But same authority was there. 7 years. And that makes sense now. Ultimately, it is not company's money, so how can company claim it? If it is available in the hands of, because sometimes central government transfer your share to somebody else. Amount, yeah, obviously you will get your full amount. Along with interest you will get, by the way. Dividend, if I'm talking about the dividend. You will definitely get it. It is your money. Just because you were missing for the 7 years, it doesn't mean that law should deprive your lawful rights. It is your lawful right, and it is your money. It is just like this. Let's say you are sentenced to the jail for the 10 years. And after 10 years, when you come out, can central government capture your all the assets? No, these are your assets. Are you getting my point? These are your assets. There was miscommunication. That's all. But have you understood the concept of IEPF? Sometimes in exam, while reading the 125, I will tell you one question that which are the funds which will be credited to the IEPF. वही तो question है ना? So unclaimed dividend, unclaimed interest, unclaimed debenture, unclaimed deposit, unclaimed preference shares, or anything what you need to pay to the shareholders and they have not claimed in 7 years, lapsed, all the amount will get credited to IEPF. Am I clear? जिसका कोई नहीं उसका सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट होता है. That's why sometimes I advise to the students, देखो बच्चा, ask your parents precisely कि भाई घर में जितनी LIC वगैरह ली हुई है उसका एक लिस्ट एक डायरी में होना चाहिए. LIC आप समझ रहे हो, LIC shares etc. Why? It is observed because one of my friends in Ahmedabad is LIC agent, and he was sharing one incident with me. It is, I think, life learning lesson for all of us. One of his client died, assume, and he had the policy of 50 lakhs rupees. That means his family members, precisely one widow and one boy and two daughters, total four members, total five. Husband died. So now how many are left in the family? Four. Wife didn't know that her husband had LIC in his name. And after the death of the husband, she was believing that now she's shelterless. And she was washing and cleaning the utensils in everybody's home, clothing, washing the clothes in everybody's home, living her life under the poverty. But in fact, she was the owner of 50 lakhs rupees. She was not aware. Why? Because her husband didn't communicate this fact to his wife that I have taken LIC and I have this much investment. I think almost about after 8 years, suddenly my friend met with that widow and says that हसमुख भाई कैसे हैं तो उन्हें कहा कि long years back he died तो कहा, क्या बात कर रहे हो भाभी जी he died and you didn't inform me because death on the death your husband deserves LIC policy let me rework on it rework किया बड़ा 50 lakhs का amount निकला and he told to that widow that ma'am you deserve to get the 50 lakhs rupees amount and okay what 8 years of your life you were living like a hell you don't know that you are the owner of 50 lakhs rupees. Guys, you won't believe, but LIC is one of the most richest organizations in the country. You know that, right? Its surplus funds are more than 8 lakhs crores. My simple point is like out of those 8 lakhs crores, I would say more than 1.5 lakhs crores are the unclaimed amount. Would you believe it? कोई claim करने को आया ही नहीं. Because until you inform to LIC will not give you voluntarily. हाँ भाई लेके जा. I hope you can understand the game of unclaimed. Unclaimed. Yes or no? भाई yes or no? Okay बच्चों. Now, before I move on to section 125, I hope guys section 123 and 124 is clear in everyone's mind. Yes or no? 123, I think two questions I have not done before I just let you go. Let me tell you, बच्चों, in the 123 हमने क्या discuss नहीं किया है. So 123 one is discussed. Payment of dividend. Yeah, this 123 subsection 5 is not done, and I guess 123 subsection 6 is not done. In and 123 subsection 4 and 127 I will discuss in 127, not here. ठीक है? Who is entitled person to claim? So guys, anyone who is registered in the company is registered as a member or registered shareholder, he is entitled to. Now what does it mean 123 subsection 5? In the past, these kinds of incident happened. That let's say here Sparsh comes to me, I am the company secretary. Sparsh comes to me and says that Mr. Chirag, 20,000 rupees are due as a dividend. I said, okay, fine, it is due in your name, Sparsh. Sparsh says, no, it is in my brother's name. Then I asked, are you shareholder in my company? He said, no, I am not the shareholder, but my brother is shareholder. So I was passing by, so I just thought that I should collect the dividend on his behalf. And company paid 20,000 rupees check to Sparsh. Sparsh for the endorsement and took the 20,000 rupees. My question to you is, guys, company's behavior is valid or not valid? Guys, when you know that Sparsh is not authorized and registered person, how dare you to give the check to in his hands? Isn't it the clear-cut mistake of the company? Come on, bhai. And that is why when you read 123 subsection 5, it is clearly mentioned that it doesn't matter who was holding the shares. It doesn't matter who will hold the shares. What matters is who is holding the shares as of now. But am I clear to all of you? So guys, when you read section 123 subsection 5, one instruction what is provided here, it is that dividend shall be paid by a company in respect of any shares therein only to whom, guys? Registered shareholder. In fact, the language goes like this: no dividend shall be paid except to registered shareholder. So ultimately, interpretation is what? It shall be paid only to a registered shareholder. However, this word registered shareholder is very tricky point. Why tricky point? Look, what kinds of questions they are asking in exam. In the month of April, let's say Mr. Pars was the shareholder. He transferred his shares to Sparsh. In the month of June, who has become new shareholder? Sparsh. So in the records of the company, who's appearing as the shareholder? But the shares are already transferred. Sparsh is, so Pars is the old shareholder, but who's the existing shareholder here? Company has declared the dividend in the month of September, so who deserves to get it? Paras has already transferred all the shares, so his name is not there anywhere. He's just like a former shareholder. So now, according to this entire fact, guys, who deserves to get the dividend? Paras or Spurs? Answer to that question is Spurs. Yes, Spurs. But this kind of questions they are asking in exam. अच्छा आप कहेंगे सर ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. आई एम डैम श्योर गाइस ये क्वेश्चन भी उन्होंने स्टडी मेट में डाला होगा. आपको क्या करना है सिर्फ रजिस्टर्ड वर्ड ढूंढना है. क्या ढूंढना है? ओके. And let's see guys whether this word is there or not. हाँ. Let's see the next illustration. ये रहा देखिए. The directors of East West Limited proposed the dividend of 15% on equity shares. The company announced 28 September. Yeah, so what's the date of declaration? Okay. As per the record, the dividend was approved in the AGM. That is fine, but this data is irrelevant. Let's read this data now. Mr. Binoy was the holder. But the word is he was. Of the 2000 equity shares as on 31st March 2018. In my example, who was that character? Paras. But the shares got transferred to Mr. Mohan. In my example, who was the person? Whose name has been entered into the register of the members as on 18th June. तो वही तो मैंने कहा मार्च में ही था जून में ही आ गया एंड मीटिंग इज गेटिंग कंडक्टेड एज व्हाट सितंबर सो यू टेल मी वन थिंग बच्चा हु डिजर्व्स टू गेट द शेयर्स हु डिजर्व्स टू गेट द डिविडेंड मोहन अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस आई थिंक दिस इज वन ऑफ द सिलीएस्ट क्वेश्चन एवर बीन आस्क्ड इन एग्जाम ये कितना इजी है भाई इवन इफ यू हैव नॉट रेड द प्रोविजन आंसर मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा अरे बोलो भाई आंसर मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी ऑफ कोर्स यस मिलेगी ऑफ कोर्स यस मिलेगी आंसर but am I clear to all of you? Now, last what I want to discuss is the dividend. Prohibition. It is written that when you don't comply the provisions of the section 73, you can't prohibit. Like you can't pay the dividend. Now, what is 73? But एक बात ध्यान रखो. When you read here 123 subsection 6, they are saying that 73 and 74. What does it mean? Because 73 and 74 are covered up under the chapter of deposit. Have you heard about the public deposit? अरे बोलो मुझे एक बात बताओ आप लोग once you accept the deposit it has the due maturity also that you have to pay by so and so date yes or no total amount matured is 100 crores कितना है that means already overdue it is payable but company has not paid what does it indicate that company doesn't have sufficient cash to pay what deposit but company wants to issue 50 crore rupees dividend isn't it oxymoron you don't have money to pay deposit holders but you have money to pay dividend. Does it make sense? Don't you think it's a waste of money? Who deserves to get the money first? Deposit holders or the shareholders? Why? Deposit holders payment is compulsory, whereas dividend payment is optional. So, what is the common sense? What's the common sense? Common sense is like you should pay the outsider liability first, na? So, law ने क्या कहा? We do not want to go in the common sense. Let's make the provision. If under section 73 and 74 deposit is matured but not paid deposit is matured but not paid you can't declare the dividend make sense or not well first of all satisfy the deposit holders and after then if money is left over you pay to your shareholders what kind of stupidity it is you have cash to go for the dividend but you don't have cash to go for the deposit holders that doesn't make sense. Am I clear? So with this guys, I want to announce that your section 123 and 124 both are coming to the end. Tomorrow, I think within first 2 hours, I'm going to complete this dividend chapter and I'll start with the audit of company. Sorry, accounts of company first. And after accounts, we will start with auditing. तो गाइस इतना करने के बाद आपका कंपनी लॉ में छोटे छोटे चैप्टर बचेंगे मेंबर्स charge, debenture and deposit and company incorporated outside India. Once I complete all this chapter, your entire company's act of the CA inter comes to the end. And then we will go to some advanced level topics like FEMA, interpretation of statutes, एंड जनरल क्लॉजेस एक्ट। इतना कर लिया बच्चा, सिलेबस खत्म। क्या बात समझ में आई आप लोगों को? ठीक है।